you probably don't have enough plugs for what you got. But this is not your mama's plug anymore, because it is from Philips. We know that brand name for great things all around the home, and it's your 6 outlet, but here's the key for me. It's 6 outlets that you can use. Y'all have something like this at home, I know I do. And while that might have 6 or 7 or 8 outlets or whatever it is, that does not mean you can actually plug everything into those outlets, because let's be honest, it kind of blocks things. So the genius of this is, yes, you pick your fun fashion color of choice. It's plug and play, so you just plug it into whatever wall outlet you have. You have these great USB chargers, and then the way these are positioned, I think, is genius. So you can take advantage of it. So on both sides, and then of course that little shelf as well. Times 2. Times 2. Times 2. So there's our coral, there's our white, our gray, our black, and then we're calling it teal. So we don't have a ton of these to go around. Justin safely Skyping from home, of course, and boy, oh boy, Philips is bringing great things to life for us right now. This is something we all need, because we're all plugging in something, aren't we?
Yeah, and throughout both hours, more stuff to plug in, whether it's the vacuum, the iPad we got coming up, the AirPods, the Panasonic phones that we've got, that Laura just had. I mean, everything we have needs to be plugged in. In fact, more than 20 things inside of your home, an average size home, needs to be plugged in. And I can guarantee you in December, you had more stuff. And homes were not built to withstand that, as we have all experienced, right? We're all thinking, where do we plug it in? All of our outlets end up looking like this. Maybe you have these little adapters. Maybe you don't. They're hard to find. They're like our socks. They disappear. Well, what you can do now is get rid of these and get one of these. Philips has been around for over a century, and this is built by the number one supplier manufacturer of surge protectors. So not only did we just convert from 2 outlets to 6 3-prong outlets, but you also have the 2 USB ports, and they're also surge protected. You were just showing this, Shannon. We've all got one of these. It's great, right? I mean, they do have the 6 outlets. There's no USB port. This isn't surge protected. This is just gathering dust on the floor. What's nice about having the Philips is it gets everything off the ground. So now we have all the ability to plug in all of our different things. You got the iPad coming up. We've got an iPad right here. You can plug that iPad in, but we've got phones that we need to plug in. One of the things that we love, Shannon, is it's hard to figure out where to put our power banks. Now we have a spot that we just leave our power banks. They charge in one spot. We actually have a full charging station, so it makes it fantastic. Most homes have more than one phone to be plugged in. Now you have those 2 USB ports, and what's nice about that is you don't got to find one of these anymore. You can plug it right in here, and it's one of those quick charge USB ports as well. We've got those AirPods coming up. Now you have the AirPods that you can put right here on top of the shelf, and you also have the ability in the bathroom to finally create counter space. If it's the curling iron, the straightener, it's the makeup, it's the toothbrush, but maybe you got to plug in the hair dryer, the curling iron, and you got to plug in the straightener all at the same time. Plus you've got maybe a Philips toothbrush that you need to have plugged in, all of those different things, and you don't have the counter space to do it. You can now have all of those different outlets. One of the things I love too is with this shelf, and I know we have the iPad coming up, you can use this with that shelf and that lip to be able to set this up. So maybe this is in the bathroom. Now you can be watching all of those makeup tutorials on your iPad, or like we've done in the back here in your kitchen, we have our Alexa set up in the kitchen. So maybe you want to have your Alexa set up and off the counter, so when you're doing the dishes, you don't have to worry about it getting wet. Plus we've got our coffee maker, plus we've got our toaster, and you know, Shannon, right? Being at HSN forever, you've got a lot more than just a coffee maker and toaster oven that needs to be plugged in the kitchen. You got the blenders, you've got the air fryers, and the list goes on and on and on. This just makes it so much easier. And I know you ran out of the HP, but of course, with our home offices being literally our office, our home, now you can go ahead, plug this in, and now have that space for your laptops, for everything else. And keep in mind that, of course, they're all going to be surge protected with this unit as well.
They are indeed. And you know, it's such a smart solution, and not for nothing, it's kind of like a buy one, get one. I mean, if you think of the value in perspective, once you get it at home, it's a good thing they're giving you a 2-pack, because the only kind of review that I've read on similar products that we've sold in the past is, I wish I would have gotten more than one, because I can pretty much promise you, you do need more than one, whether that is the bathroom where you've got multiple curling irons going on like I do, or whether it is the kitchen and you're using multiple appliances. Plus, you definitely want to make sure, if it's in the bathroom, that you're elevating your cell phones or things that you just really want to make sure are elevated or removed from that danger zone of the water. Plus, this happens to be pretty. I know that's a little thing, but it's really not, because it's still taking up some square footage in your home. And why, oh why, have this old-fashioned dinosaur and eyesore that is not doing what this is doing? So leave it to Philips. They are innovators for sure. It's pretty much a buy one, get one. It's stylish. It's got that great little ledge. It has your USB charging. It has, of course, the 6 outlets on either side, which allows you to use the outlets that it has. And then, of course, it's just plug and play. You don't need a contractor or, you know, anybody to install anything. You just kind of plug it in and let it do its thing. And, you know, that's just it, Justin. When I said earlier, leave it to Philips, certainly they're a name that we can trust, and you do want to know that you've got that safety and that security, because at the end of the day, shoot, you're plugging stuff in. The last thing you want is you're not quite sure voltage, wattage things and stuff. You want to make sure that it's going to do what we say it's going to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, especially when it is in the bathroom, when you do have all of the heating elements like the straightener, the curling iron, the blow dryer, you want to know that all that stuff's going to stay protected. And it's the easiest installation, like you were saying. All you're going to do is take it, and if you can plug anything in, you can definitely plug this in. And one of the things I want to mention is this little hole right here. There's actually a screw that we give you. So if you remove the screw that's on your actual wall plate, and you use the one that we have existing from the Philips, it'll actually stay in the outlet, so you don't have to worry about it falling out. So when you're putting stuff on here that might be heavy or constantly pulling stuff out, this is not going to pull off of here. And you were showing on the side, you have all the 3-prong outlets on the side here. So if you want to, you can remove this shelf and now put this behind one of those entertainment stands, your TV stands, your armoire. Instead of the plug sticking out towards the armoire, towards the sofa, now you have access to all of them on the side, and it just makes it so much easier and declutters all of those cables that we've got, and then you can just use that space in that shelf to now declutter even more, because now you've got a space to put all those electronics when you're not using them.
It's true. It's one of those things. It's like, why didn't I think of it? I mean, it's one of those things when you get it at home, you need it a lot more than maybe you realized until you get it your way. And remember, FlexPay of $8, that doesn't hurt either. I mean, come on with that 2-pack. Hey, Justin, thank you for helping us out tonight. Continue to be safe out there, okay?
As usual, good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you, Justin. All right, got to show you what we've got left. And it's been a big day for electronics here at HSN. So if you were not with us last hour,